Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Thad Nichols on the line. He's North America Regional Director of Partner Programs over at International Justice Mission, which is the largest anti-slavery org in the world. Thad, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Adam. It's fun to be back.
So excited to get into today's topic, which is cause marketing partnerships. And before we do that, I'd like to give, for the audience that hasn't heard of it yet, a little bit of an overview of International Justice Mission and what you're doing.
Yeah, we're the largest international anti-trafficking organization around the world, which means that we have offices in countries all over the world that are targeted at both freeing those that are enslaved, and that could be bonded labor, that could be sex trafficking, bringing criminals to justice, and then really seeing those justice systems change to protect the most vulnerable on their own. So we've been doing this for over 20 years, and we're seeing countless men, women, children, and families, experience the joy that is to be free. And so that's really the focus of our work, and where we drive forward and are looking to see slavery end in our lifetime as a result.
Man, it's great work. It's tough work. It's not easy to see, and it's not easy to be aware. And one of the reasons I invited you on the show was to bring more awareness to the issue, because I don't think that many people, at least in the United States, even know that slavery is still a thing or that it's going on.
Yeah, it was, I think one of the most fascinating things that I see on a day-to-day basis is that lack of awareness. And the reality is there's over 40 million families and individuals enslaved today. It's a huge number, and yet it's not one that we know about on a day-to-day basis. And we really believe that that happens because laws aren't enforced. And so when the most vulnerable are taken advantage of by the powerful, and in this case the slave owners, this happens. And it's a $150 billion business today, and so there's money to be made there. If the will isn't there to fight against it, it's going to continue.
Let's switch it up a bit. I do want to get into cause marketing and partnerships. Where do you want to begin with that one?
Yeah, I can maybe just give a little background on what that looks like. I think it's maybe a term that many of us have heard about, but we don't necessarily know what it means. But to break cause marketing partnerships down at the simplest, it's really when you take a for-profit and a nonprofit, and you see those two come together around a shared goal and a shared leveraging of each other's brands and audiences. I think one of the really famous examples is, if you go to the grocery store and you grab your yogurt and you grab some Yoplait and you pull back that lid and you see that, save this lid because it's actually going to be used, part of the proceeds are going to go, for various charitable enterprises. And so it's beneficial to Yoplait because they're being able to show their customers that, hey, we care, and here's a valuable contributor for us. And it's really valuable that charity, that nonprofit also, because it's providing the funding to drive their bottom line. So it's one of these wins where you really begin to see both benefit in a big way and see their brands and their exposure and their bottom lines grow.
So I'm pretty excited to announce. You got a pretty big partnership that came up for International Justice Mission. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, it's been really exciting actually. This last fall we began the partnership of the process of building a partnership with TopGolf. So many of you probably have a TopGolf in your area. I like to think of it as golf meets bowling. It's the golf for everybody.
So much fun. I love TopGolf.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah. It's a total blast. And there's locations all over the U.S. and now globally as well. And essentially they built up this Drive for Good platform where they wanted to use TopGolf to drive charitable giving around the world. And so they picked a couple signature partners for that, IJM being one of them. And so what they're doing is they're underwriting part or all of our fundraising events with them in 2020. And so we kicked that off in Dallas this last fall. and we were able to raise $250,000 in that night with just a bunch of individuals that wanted to come and play golf. And so we're rolling that out into multiple cities this next year. And so it's this opportunity for TopGolf to say, hey, we are passionate about Indian slavery, and it's an opportunity for IJM to meet new audiences and to raise funds to actually do that. One of the things that's been really exciting as we've begun to do that is we've been able to work with a lot of our athlete and celebrity ambassadors in that as well. So the one in the fall was hosted actually by Clayton Kershaw. Adam, you're a West Coast guy, right?
Originally from Michigan, but in the West Coast now, so you could
say
that.
Yeah, yeah. So Clayton's the Dodgers' great pitcher, and he hosted that. This spring we have a number of events that we won in DC coming up here soon, where Steven Strasburg, who was just the World Series MVP, is hosting it. And so now we're kind of seeing this three-prong approach where you're seeing a company really use the power and the platform that they have to really step around Indian slavery. You're seeing, celebrities and athletes with these incredible platforms and this incredible reach, using that as well to end slavery, all raising money together with IJM so that we can see slavery in our lifetime. And it's a really fun experience for everyone, and it's one that definitely is driving all of us forward in our respective paths.
So, Thad, I mean, a lot of people listening that you brought great awareness to today in terms of the mission, what's going on, and just overall awareness. And there's some people listening that do want to get involved. What's the best way for people to get involved with the mission?
Yeah, that's a great question, and would love for anybody and everyone to dive in with us. Best way is just to visit our website, which is IJM.org. So IJM.org. If they specifically want to learn more about one of these TopGolf events in their area, you can find that by just looking up IJM and Drive for Freedom. And we've got locations all over the U.S. and it's a fun opportunity to come golf with maybe your colleagues or your coworkers or your clients, and hang out with some people that are looking to change the world.
What are some of the, and just a side note, because I know it's a big organization,
for sure.
What are some of the other ways that people can get involved? So for our non-golfers that are listening.
Definitely. So we have, a robust volunteer and advocacy team. And so, we've got staff that work directly on the Hill in the U.S. government to drive forward a lot of the most important bills that are really being created to fund and protect the world's most vulnerable. There's a fund called the End Slavery in Modern Day Slavery Fund, which was driven through the U.S. government and others. And so there's opportunities to volunteer to really raise your voice on an advocacy level as well, to tell your representatives, to tell the government that this matters and that this is an issue that needs to be taken seriously, and we need to see it, slavery end. You can learn about that on our website, IJM.org, or other local ways to volunteer or to give there.
Man, that's awesome. Well, hey, Thad, it's great having you back on the show today, and I love all the great work you're doing. Congrats on the partnership with TopGolf, and to TopGolf, congrats on the partnership also. I love what you're doing. Love that you're putting you're seriously helping out with this mission and using your platform for good. So I always enjoy TopGolf. I'm going to keep going now, like going even more, because I know that they're even doing good in the community. I was not aware of that yet. Now I am, and many of the people out there that are listening that go to TopGolf, you can just feel that much better spending your dollars there, because it's a legit company that is also giving back and addressing a big issue, which is slavery, and trying to end it in our lifetime. So again, Thad, thanks again for coming on the show. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Leave me a review on the Apple iTunes store. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give us a subscribe there and leave us some comments in the video section. Love to know what you thought, and keep the conversation going. And Thad, thanks again for coming on.